Is Kipling, our crimson-bellied conure, a boy or a girl? Let's find out. Hello fellow bird nerds, today we are finding out whether Kipling is a boy or a girl. Kipling is one of our crimson-bellied conures. He's not a huge fan of kind of filming live with me. He doesn't really like the camera. He doesn't really like laptops and stuff, so he doesn't tend to appear on my live streams as much, but we absolutely adore him. He's a bit of a sensitive flower, but it's okay. We use lots of B-roll in our videos of him. And we actually decided to do a DNA test to find out whether he's a boy or a girl. The reason why we did this is because if you haven't seen this video here, we actually had a bit of an urgent vet visit with him recently. So go and check that out if you'd like to learn more. But while we were there, I thought, as we're here with the vet, why not do the DNA test, send that off as well to find out. Now for us, we aren't really that bothered whether our birds are boys or girls. It makes very little difference to us. We are very strict with hormone management regardless, so whether a bird is a boy or a girl, whether there's risk of eggs or not, we are very, very strict as best we can be with reducing the likelihood of hormonal behaviour. So we're not really that bothered. We don't really have preferences between the boys and the girls when it comes to keeping our birds, so we just haven't really done it with most of our birds up until this point. But as we were at the vet anyway, I thought, you know what? Let's just do it. There are a variety of ways that you can DNA test your bird to find out whether they are male or female. You can cut their nail and get a small droplet of blood from that. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think that that has potential to cause more discomfort than the other method. I know some people do it and they've had success with it and all that kind of stuff, but it's not something that I would want to do because you're actively causing your bird to bleed in order to just find out whether they're a boy or a girl. So I'm not a huge fan of that. We actually did a kind of reveal for baby Olive a little while back, a few years ago, because she actually accidentally knocked out a blood feather. And because it had blood in it, I thought, you know what, make the best out of a bad situation, and we sent off the blood from the blood feather and found out that she was in fact a female. So that was fun, and that was accidental. You know, we weren't expecting a blood feather, but because we had one, I thought, let's do it. But the way that we did our DNA test was actually having some feathers plucked out of Kipling's chest. It's very simple. It just causes, you know, just a slight like, ooh. It's not painful. It's not as risky as, you know, making a bird essentially bleed when you cut their nail to do it. And you just take about 6 feathers and then you can send them off to a lab, and then it takes up to a week to get the results. Now when you're doing this, you can't just use molted feathers. That would be so much easier if we could, but by the time the feather molts, it's actually lost any kind of viable DNA on there to actually test whether birds are male or female. So it does have to be a fresh plucked chest feather typically, which is the best way to do it. You don't want to do any of the big feathers because that will cause a lot of discomfort if you were to pluck one of those out. But the simple little chest feathers, as long as you do it nice and quick, they are fine. But I did get my vet to do it because I didn't want to be the bad guy. We used a company called Avigenics, not sponsored or anything, but they only cost £8 for a DNA test, which is really, really affordable. Most of the other companies, I think if not all of them that I've seen, cost far more than that. So £8 is very affordable, and then obviously the postage cost to send it off there. And it was really, really easy to do. You put in the correct species because they have a whole kind of data set for loads of different species, thousands I think, and then you go from there. So that's what we did. We sent off his sample and I got the results this morning. I did a few polls on like my Instagram stories on community, and everyone is kind of veering towards male, and we obviously have referred to him as male since we've had him. That's because his previous owner said that he was male, but they didn't even know whether he was male and that kind of thing. So we thought, you know what, let's find out. So it's time for the big reveal. Is Kipling a boy or a girl? Kipling is a boy. He is a little boy. So we were right all along. But now we know, so that's, you know, just a nice bit of information that we know about him. And because we have to take the rest of the conures, or the conures who haven't been DNA sexed to the vets anyway, we are going to get Louis, Scampi and Pickles all tested as well. So it'll be a little reveal like this for all of those guys too once we get those results in, just for a bit of fun. But you know, if you're going to the vets anyway for a wellness check and that kind of thing, or a nail trim, and you haven't done a DNA test with your bird, then why not do it, especially if you can send off the feathers yourself for only £8. If you get it done at the vets, it's normally quite expensive, but my vet was more than happy just to pluck a few feathers, pop them in a Ziploc bag, and then I could send them off myself. So as I said already, Olive has already been DNA confirmed a female. Charlie, our other crimson-bellied conure, is already DNA confirmed male. But Louis, Pickles and Scampi haven't been confirmed, and then our cockatiel fish is a male. You can tell by his coloration, because typical colorations for cockatiels, unless they're like colour mutations, the typical ones, they are what we call sexually dimorphic, which means you can tell the difference by looking at them, whether they're males or females. He's got that beautiful yellow head, but also he displays lots of male behaviours as well. So we know that he's a boy. But the rest of the conures we don't know. Again, it doesn't matter hugely to us, which is why we haven't actually done it up until now. But because they're going to the vets already, we thought, why not just do it? And as I said, if you don't know why I'm having to take all these birds to the vets, it isn't because I'm DNA testing them, it's for another reason. So again, if you didn't watch that video about Kip going to the vet, recommend watching that one next, because it does have some important information that you may not be aware of. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed finding out whether Kipling was a boy or a girl. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.